Well, hey everybody, Joy here. I know, I got my hair brown again. How about that? It's about time. Guess what? I haven't, for those of you who watched my last video and heard about all my pains, I have not had anything but very mild pain yesterday and today. So I am so excited. Since I talked to you last, though, I have had a CAT scan. And evidently there seems to be some issues with one of my kidneys. I never would have thought that in a trillion years. So my doctor has now ordered an MRI of my kidneys. And so that will be next Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or sometime. I feel like I need to just move the sewing room over to the doctor's office. I've been there so much lately. Not so much his office, but you know, right down the halls where you go to get all your x-rays and your CPAPs and stuff like that. Urinalysis, blood tests. So look what I have. I know you can see behind me Mr. Scarecrow, and every once in a while I call him a snowman. He is a scarecrow for sure. And I surely mentioned to you how when Becky, my friend Becky, was at the Road to California quilt show, she always does a video of, you know, most of the people, the vendors that are there. And she met the guy that makes these things. It's called a design wall. I'll show you the top of it in a minute. But it's called a design wall. And it's really big. And your threads really stick to it. I can see that. And I wanted one because this design wall is like, remember the old-fashioned movie screens and you rolled them down and then you could roll them up, or a shade on your window, you know, you could pull it and it would go boing and go all the way up to the top and then you could pull it down. My mother had those in her house. So that's what this is like. It has a remote control. Let me see if I can make it work. It was a two-man job to put this up yesterday. It took a long time. My nephew and my husband. So let me show you. Let me see if I can make it work. Look at that. Ah! No, stop. There's a stop button. You're supposed to be able to roll it up with your blocks on it, but I'm not going to do that. My luck, the little bitty leaves, these things would end up stuck up in there in the top of it somewhere. I've heard that can actually happen. So I'm not going to roll it up with this entire quilt on it, but I sure am enjoying it. Stop. Ah, isn't it fun? Stop. This is the first time I've touched the buttons, so. So the snowman's body, of course, continues down here, and then he has a big rake that goes here, and then there's a milk can that goes over here. So, fun. I'm so glad to have all these leaves done. My goodness, it took me the longest time. So if you're interested in it, it's from a company called Classy, I don't know why Classy, but Classy American Design Wall. You can get them with the chain, where you pull the chain, it goes up and down with the chain. I wanted the electric thing. So I am really happy that I got this. It's wonderful. So I just wanted to tell you that. Thank you all for all your comments about back pain, sciatica. Several of you mentioned kidneys. And I thought, what is with them and my kidneys? My doctor keeps saying you need to have urinalysis. And I'm like, what do I need a urinalysis for? I don't have a bladder infection. And he thought it had something to do with kidneys. And I just thought he was nuts. And I sent my results of my CAT scan to my daughter. You know, my daughter's a nurse and her daughter's a nurse. And she looked at it and she said, Mom, your spine's just fine. It's just because you're old and it looks like, you know, it's supposed to look at your age. She said, what you need to do is figure out what's in your kidney. So my daughter agrees. So I'm going to have an MRI, and evidently that like gives you color pictures or something of every cell in your body. I don't know why you have to have so many x-rays. I've had my hips x-rayed. I've had my lower lumbar x-rayed. I've had a CAT scan, and now, and a urinalysis, and now I'm going to have an MRI. So I'll keep you posted. But right now, I feel perfectly fine. I think I felt perfectly fine the last video that I made. A lot of the days, I would hurt really, really bad. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't. And I think I told you before, it would start out on the left, that would go away and it'd be on the right, that would go away and it would be in the middle, that would go away and it'd be all across. Right now I have, just like I used to get when I would move heavy boxes, lower back pain. So we shall see. I am looking forward to a good report because I want to keep on sewing. I have to keep on sewing. Do you know how many quilts I have almost done? How many quilts I haven't started at all? How many quilts I have half done? I have got to get these quilts made. I have a whole bunch of them that maybe just need the borders and the binding. No, you can't bind them till you quilt them. They just need the borders. And remember, I started one for the RV, for the king-size bed in the RV. That one needs to be finished. I'm about halfway through making the top on that one. Just so many. And then, for some reason, I keep buying new ones. I know. I probably should have them do an MRI on my brain to figure out why I keep ordering new quilt kits from Laundry Basket Quilts. All right, it's past lunch. You know, the time has changed, and we haven't gotten our bodies to get in the groove yet of what time it is. So we don't know when it's noon. When we think it's noon and we're hungry, it's 1 o'clock. When we think it's time to eat supper, it's 7 o'clock. We're just all mixed up on the times. So right now it's probably 1:30. I think we ate our breakfast at 10 this morning. And so now it's 1:30 and it's time for lunch. So we'll go take care of that. And I don't know what I could show you that you'd be interested in after lunch. But if I do anything, I'll be sure and show you. Joy here. Joy with my brand new mega mug from my very best nephew, Jeffrey. You know, Jeffrey's the one building our barn. He's like the guy in charge, you know. And he's just the nicest guy. He's got like 10,000 friends. No matter who comes here to work, they come here to dig a ditch, hang a light bulb, whatever. Oh yes, we're friends. Oh, he's my friend. Oh, we've been friends forever. He just, he should have been a nurse. Or, I don't know. What's better than a nurse? An angel? He has the softest heart for people who hurt. And not only a soft heart for people who hurt, he hurts himself all the time. He's been into building and had a landscaping company and did a lot of things when he was young and hurt his back, and he's got pain in his neck and pain in his back, and he gets migraines sometimes, and he still just keeps going. So, I tell you, it is just such a blessing to be here with my sister. Oh, I know a lot of you don't watch Shine. You just want to see sewing and you just want to see quilting. You don't care anything about the Bible or church, or you have your own and you don't agree with mine. Perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. I love you anyway. Don't care about that. But yesterday, my sister and her husband, who's been a missionary and a preacher for ever and ever, was here. And so I asked him, he's wanting to start his own YouTube channel. He's had an amazing life. As missionary, he grew up, his parents were missionaries in Africa from when he was a baby. And his sisters, he has 3 sisters. He's the only boy. And he just has the most amazing stories to tell. He's actually writing a book. And what did he tell me yesterday? He said, I've already got 31 stories and I have way more than that. I said, well, then you need to write 2 books. And then you can sell them both. So I asked him to sit in because he was saying, how does YouTube work? And how do you get the videos? And I said, well, just come over today after church And you can be me. And I'll show you the camera, and I'll show you the lights, and I'll show you how you edit it, and I'll show you the computer software and all of that. So he sat in for me yesterday for Shine. His name is Dr. Jonathan Wakefield. And that name is known all over the world, Wakefield. His father was David Wakefield. David Wakefield, his father, actually married me both times. Married me to my first husband and married me to Jerry. But his father has, you know, he's deceased, and so is his mother. And his mother was just, she was just a saint, an absolute saint. Her name was Claudia Wakefield. So anyhow, if you'd like to see something besides me over on Shine, go check that out and do me a favor and leave a comment. He said, do people ever comment? What do they say? How do you know if they watched you? How do you know if they liked what you said? And I said, well, I'll show you how to read the comments, and then you can see. And so one of you said this morning, if you watch Shine, that you want to hear more of his stories, and I don't blame you. He's got stories, oh, never ending. And he is exact same age as Jerry. He and Jerry were born in the exact same month. I think John's birthday is September 4. I think it's early September sometime, and Jerry's September 30, but the same year, 1946. So they're the same age, and they're so much alike, it's funny. And his wife is my sister Janice, and she was here, and I wanted her to sit in there for Jerry. But she just cannot stand for anybody to see her. This is a preacher's wife, y'all. She's got 4 kids. I mean, people have been seeing her forever. I don't want anybody to see me. So, she's my sister. Just picture me with about 10 times as much hair as I have. Her hair comes down to about here, and it's just huge, huge, beautiful layers and layers of gorgeous hair. Oh, I told the Lord I don't get the uneven distribution of hair and boobs. But anyway, yes. So we were sitting there in 2 chairs across the room from them. And it was kind of hard for them to do what they were doing yesterday with their 2 wives staring at them. So do me a favor and go listen to yesterday, and leave a comment for Dr. Reverend John. We call him John, J-O-N. And I would really appreciate that. But that's not why I'm here, other than it just happened, so it's on my mind. So you may notice I'm up, I'm about. I'm not walking bent over like this like I was for 2 weeks. I was walking like this. I don't know if I had an injury. I don't know if it can come back again. I haven't seen the doctor that took the x-rays and things. I have an appointment with him next Wednesday, I think. And I've scheduled an appointment with a orthopedic doctor and a kidney doctor, a urologist. It turns out that when they did the CAT scan on me, there's something in my left kidney, and it's not a stone. There's 2 things, and it's not stones. One of them is partway in the kidney and partway out of the kidney, and I don't know where the other one is. So I'm going in for an MRI. Some of you mentioned that I should do that. So I have an MRI a week from this Friday, 28th. So we're going to see what is going on with my kidney. My GP kept saying, we need to do another urinalysis on you. I'm like, why? I'm fine. I don't need a urinalysis. Well, we just need to. I need to see if something's going on with your kidneys. And I thought, why would anything be going on with my kidneys? That doesn't make any sense. Well, you know, I've been blessed to be super healthy. Bouncy, healthy, happy, lots of energy most of my life. I had a hysterectomy a million years ago and had my tonsils out, and that's about it for my whole life. So I'm telling you, I've had more doctor appointments and more x-rays and things lately. But praise the Lord that, you know, those are available, or we wouldn't know what was wrong with us, would we? But I'm moving slowly. Saturday I had no pain. Yesterday I had very little, and it wasn't that deep, stabbing, horrible pain. And today I have had none. None anywhere. And I so much want to go do my exercises. And I so much want to be bouncy, but I'm afraid that if I get too active, I mean, when I walk now, I turn carefully and I take slower, even steps, because I can just take one step and it throws that pinched nerve into horrible pain or whatever it is. So I know you think, good grief, you're always just a major tornado. Well, I would like to be, but right now I'm not much of one. And oh my goodness, how about that dust storm we had? I felt like I was back in Phoenix, Arizona. I had an appointment with some doctor that day. Cardiologist. Nothing wrong with me. He just said, it's been over a year, you need to come back in here. Because I had high blood pressure. And so the very first doctor we looked for when we moved here was a cardiologist. And so I saw his PA. You know, the PAs are always so much nicer in most cases than the doctor. She was just adorable. I wanted to bring her home with me. Could you just come live with me? You are so cute and so friendly. You know, and they're all like 12 years old. So, what have I been doing? I didn't get to do much from when I talked to you before until like last Friday, because I would be pretty okay. And then about noon, 1, 2 o'clock, that nerve would start. And the pain on each side would start. And Jerry would just say, you stop, I'll bring you lunch, you just stop, you're not fixing dinner. And it's just, you know, he wanted me to be still so I would quit getting that horrible pain. So I wasn't getting anything done. Oh, I told Jerry, I've got to dust, I've got to vacuum, I've got to order groceries. No, you are sitting still and you're doing nothing. And you can imagine, knowing me, that is the hardest thing. Because I can't stand to sit still and do nothing. So look what I did. When I started feeling a little better, I got another snowflake made for my snowflake quilt. This is the most beautiful quilt. I had no interest in this whatsoever from the picture. This is the picture. You know, pictures do not do quilts justice. For one thing, the quilt is humongous and this is tiny. And it just doesn't do it justice. And Edita Sitar had the finished quilt on her show one day. And I only saw part of it and I went, oh, I love that quilt. Of course I love blue. You know, blue is, I guess you'd have to call it my favorite color these days. So I got block 4 done. And I got block 3 done. You want me to take the 3 off? Oh, the 3 fell off. So block 3. Let me take the 4 off. Look, they're like the same thing, so you just do it over and over and over. Now I've forgotten which one's 4 and which one's 3. I think that's 4. The sticky notes are not sticking these days. I don't know what's with that. And this one's 3. When you get all of these blocks put together, I don't know how you're going to know what one goes where unless you keep the numbers on them. Because they all are pretty much the same thing. And you already saw block 1 and block 2. So my plan here is, there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 big ones. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 little ones. So I have to make all of those. So my plan is to make at least 1 a week. So I figure I will get it finished by maybe the time I'm 100. So excited to get that done. Now before I left, my next block is number 5. Block 5, block 5. So I'm going to go set it out at the sewing machine I'm doing it on. And then through this week, I'll work on this. And then by the end of the week, I'll have 1 more snowflake made. That's my plan. I do have 2 or 3 doctor appointments this week. Oh my goodness. So before I left my other house, I cut out this Metra blazer, taped it together. You know, I don't like this taping together stuff, but if you want the pattern and you want to make it and that's the way it comes, then that's what you're going to have to do. So I have it all cut out in this blue knit. It's a knit jacket. I think I'm going to put it together today. We shall see. Upstairs, I showed you. I made a clip. Did I show it yet? I forget what I do. You know, we did Shine yesterday. My sister and her husband were here most of the afternoon. But I think I showed you how I'm working on the Scarecrow. My friend Becky is doing the snowman. Becky just finished quilting how to make a Scarecrow. The same lady, Lori Holt, did a pattern how to make a Scarecrow and quilted Scarecrow. So Becky did how to make it. I did the Scarecrow made up. They're both amazing. But she finished that quilt and she did a superb job. She has this way that she, it's called, she named it. What's it called? Snap-applique, which is doing applique and a snap. And she always does that, is it called a blanket stitch? The stitch with the little dashes. She always does that stitch. I always do a satin stitch. But she did an amazing job on that quilt. Her points are always perfect. She's a really, really good quilter. Her website, I'm sure you all already know it. The entire world is subscribed to her. She's got 80,000 subscribers. But if you don't know about her, her channel is called Power Tools with Thread. And her name is Becky Thompson. She's on every morning at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I usually crawl out of bed about 6:30 or 7, and get my coffee and come out here and watch her. And if you don't see her live, she always is live. If you don't see her live, you can always watch the rerun later. But if you like quilting, you just gotta subscribe to her station. Oh, is it called a station? Channel? It helps my channel. I guess it's called a channel. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you I'm feeling so much better. I really am. And you know, now I signed up with all these doctors because, you know, I thought I was going to be bent over like this forever. And I guess I'll still go to them, but I just feel silly going in there and then I feel fine. You know, it's like your car does something or your computer does something. So you call a repair person to come and fix your car or fix your computer and it will not do it. I had a little Toyota one time. Was it a Toyota? Was it a Camry? Was it a white Toyota Camry, I think. And it was a little extra car we bought when we had a house in Edmond. And loved that car. And we bought it almost brand new. Somebody had traded it in. And when we bought it, we thought, why did somebody trade this in? It's like brand new. And of course, you get it so much cheaper. We just thought, that, why wouldn't somebody keep this car? It's so nice. Well, one day I went to the Sonic in Kingston, Oklahoma. We were running our business then. And I ran over there to get something. Our business was right across the street from the Sonic. And I think it was after work even. And I turned it off till my order came. And my order came and I tried to start the car and it would not start. I tried again, it wouldn't start. Tried again, it wouldn't start. Called my husband, hysterical, something's wrong with this car, it won't start. He came and he got me, and I think he finally got the car to start. I don't remember the details. And we took it to the dealer in Denison or Sherman, Texas, wherever the dealer is there. And it was there for a week. That car would not do that. They called me after it had been there like 5 days and they said, your car's just fine, there's nothing wrong with it. And we tried to convince them that there was something wrong with it, you know, that it just wouldn't start, it just like went dead. And they said, well, we can't make it do it and it's all computerized and we can't fix it unless we know what part of the computer is broken. So I was just in tears and Jerry said, well, we'll come pick it up tomorrow. So the man said, well, I'll drive it out of the shop and I'll park it out on the lot. He called back about 15 minutes later. No, I think he said tomorrow morning. I think they were already closed for the day. He said, tomorrow morning, I will take it out of the shop and put it out in the parking lot and put the keys under the seat or something. He called the next morning and he said, This car will not start. Oh, I tell you, I was never so happy in all my life. This car will not start. And it was still under warranty. I told you it's almost new. And so it was something to do with some computer. And so they replaced whatever wire, nut, or bolt it was. And it worked just fine from that time on. We sold it later for, you know, a good price. And it never did that again. And so, you know, how many times has that happened? My goodness. And you tell somebody something's broken and it won't break when it's with them. How did I get off onto that? I never know. Oh, wait, I didn't show you what my best nephew in the whole wide world got me. I'm going to tell you what a sweetheart he is. So, he's always here, you know. Except now the barn's almost totally done, so he's not here today. So he was here last week. And he came in the house and he had one of these. It was green. He had it with him. And I said, oh my goodness, what a cool mug. And he said, oh yeah, he said, I really like it. He said, I got one for all the girls in my family for Christmas. We really like it. And I said, well, I really like it too. He said, I really like it because the straw is attached to it and you can't lose the straw. Well, that's not really true because the inside straw pulls out, you know, so you can wash it. But I said, oh my gosh, that's really nice. I love the way it fits into the cup holders in the car. So he was here all day, and he came in at the end of the day to talk to us about what he did or what he was going to do next or whatever. And when he went home, he left his mug at my house. And so I took it off the bar, and I took it apart, and I washed it and put it over on the towel to dry. And he came in the next morning, did I leave my mug here? I said, yes, I got it all washed for you. So we filled it up. So about 3 days later, there was a box on my front porch from Amazon. And I looked at it and I thought, well, I didn't order anything. What the heck is that? You know, I didn't, like I ordered mascara. Why would mascara be in a box big enough to hold this? So I thought, well, that's strange. So I brought the box in. Jerry, did you order anything? No, I didn't order anything. So I opened it up and it was this. A pink with purple handle. No note, no nothing. Had no idea where it came from. And I thought, I bet Jeff did this, because I was oohing and ahhing over his the other day. So I texted him. I said, did you send me this pink mug? And he texted back and he said, maybe. So I have no idea why he got it for me, other than he's just the sweetest thing, I tell you. He came over one day, and I was walking like this to the front door. He said, oh my goodness. You look like an old granny. I said, well, I am an old granny. So I was outside later. You know, I walked out there. No, I think it was the next day. You know, things happen so fast I don't remember the dates. But it was at some point when I was feeling good. And I even went outside and I said, look, I can stand up straight. I can turn around. I don't have any pain. I'm just fine. So he said, you know what you need? You just need a hug every day. I need to come over here and hug you every day. So he put his arm around my waist. And he's like me, he's a rocker. And so he started rocking back and forth. Sometimes he sings a song. He started rocking back and forth like this. And the pain, the nerve pinch or whatever it is. And it was horrible, horrible pain. And I bent over like this. I said, oh my gosh, it's back, it's back. And so I walked into the house and I laid on the couch the whole rest of the day. That was like early noon. And I laid on the couch the whole rest of the day. You know, isn't it crazy? It just comes and goes and comes and goes. But anyway, he is a doll. And I love my new cup. I'm going to drive Sherry Cherry crazy drinking out of my new cup. I'll be back after a while. So this is Tuesday. The day after yesterday when you saw me in the last clip. I worked yesterday afternoon on this Metra blazer. Let me tell you that the last 30 minutes I was changing the sheets on our king-size bed with a mattress set fat, Tempur-Pedic. And Jerry's sick. I didn't know if he had the flu or what, but he's starting to feel better, so we think it was just he ate something yesterday that didn't agree with him all night long and all morning. So he usually changes the sheets, but he wasn't feeling good today, so I didn't ask him to help. And oh my, lifting the bottom of the mattress, the whole mattress, and pushing it forward to get it away from the bar. It's a up-down bed, you know, electric. Oh boy. The pain, the pain. Remember that show? The plane, the plane. Why does my phone always do that when I'm talking to you? I do not know. Let me turn it off. I don't go to the grocery store anymore. Ever since I found out that Walmart will bring your groceries to you. Ah, wonderful. Especially when your husband is sick and you can barely move without hurting yourself. So anyhow, I'm hurting a little bit right now, but it's not that deep, horrible, awful pain that a lot of you know about. So looky here. This is my Love Notions Metra blazer. And I have some things to say about Love Notions. I don't know why people supposedly love them so much. I was extremely upset with them, and this is the second time I've been upset with them. Hold on a second. They give you lots and lots of papers that you have to read. Directions for making the blouse, how to measure yourself, what size of pattern you need. Turned out I needed about 5 different sizes for my body. So, they told me that I was going to need, for the one I wanted to make, which was the wide lapel, with the full bust adjustment. Says right here, full bust. Here are the numbers of the pattern that you can print out and you tape it all together. Here's the numbers that you need. But it's wrong. It's wrong. You need pages 46 through 51. How many pages is that? 9 pages? That's a lot of pages. That's probably not right. 46, 47, 48, 49, 55, 5 pages. 50, 51, 6 pages. I think guys mine. So you need 6 more pages that they didn't tell you about. So I called them and told them about it. And so the girl called me and she said, "Oh, you're right. That isn't the right numbers down there." She said, "You are right. We have that wrong. You do need those extra pages and it doesn't tell you that." I mean, she didn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let us refund your money for the pattern. Let us give you another pattern. Let us fix it right away and send you a copy of it corrected." No. She's just like, "Oh, you're right. We're sorry." That was it. That was it. I couldn't believe that all of their pattern testers, and they have a lot of pattern testers. They have Karina, who can sew with her eyes shut. They have Whitney, who can probably, Tomcat Stitchery, probably sew with her eyes shut. They're really good. And then they have all these other people. And so you can go there and you can look at this garment on a whole bunch of people. So why didn't any of those people tell them, "There's a mistake, fix it"? So I was upset about that. And as I recall, the last pattern that I tried to make with them, yes, I called them about the dotted lines and the straight lines because the directions were clear as mud. And she said, "Oh, well, just ignore the dotted lines and line up the straight lines or something." I just thought, well, why doesn't it say that? So, because when you print it out, it prints the dotted lines and the straight lines. At least mine did. I probably did something wrong. So that's 2 patterns now. So I've got this pattern made. I didn't really care for most of the pictures where I saw the garment on the people. There was one girl who had made hers absolutely perfect. Perfect. I couldn't see a thing wrong with it. It looked really good on her. But it has long sleeves. And I don't like long sleeves, as you know. And I don't have the sleeves in it yet. And I had already made this white shirt here to go under another kind of sweater jacket that I had, and I ended up giving that to my sister because it was just too big for me. So I thought the white shirt was just hanging here. Does it have a hem yet? Yeah, I've got to sew the hem in. So the white shirt's just hanging here, so I thought, well, I'm going to put this jacket over that white shirt and see how it looks. Because when I put it on my body, I didn't like it. The front of the jacket is totally lined on this front part. So there's 2 entire layers of this pattern piece right here. One on the front, one on the back. What does that do? It makes it heavy. It makes it heavier than the back. And so when I have it on, it wants to pull down in the front and it wants to lift up in the back. See? I don't know if I'm even going to be able to make it look like it fits me right. I don't have this side sewn together yet. This side is sewn together. But I am disappointed with the directions that they didn't say, oh my goodness, let us fix that and send you a copy of that page. If it was me and it was my company, oh, I would have said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so embarrassed. I will get that fixed right away. I am so glad you took the time to point it out. But you know, people just aren't like that anymore. It's like, Peggy Sagers especially. She finds mistakes, you tell her about mistakes, she's like, well, just figure it out. If it doesn't work that way, do it another way. And she never fixes the mistakes. She'll even say, yes, I know this pattern has a mistake in it, but I'm sure you'll all figure out how to get around it. And she's not that young. She's probably, how old did she say she was the other day? She's just 10 years younger than I am, maybe 65. I'm going to try to go ahead and get the other side put together. You can see this is 2. See here? It's 2. 2 the whole way. And I'll tell you another nutty thing about it. This is a pocket, right? Well, you put your hand in the pocket and it goes all the way up to here and all the way down to here and everywhere. It just floats around in there. It's not a pocket. So, I don't know about that either. This is several hours later. And unfortunately, this is going to have to go into the Goodwill, or I'll send it to my friend that makes the clothes for the dolls. This is a really, really nice knit. I don't know, somehow I trusted this company. I didn't do my usual, you know, make a paper pattern because their paper is so hard and crunchy. But there's a huge mistake here. I think you can see it. Can you see? The front's fine. The front's fine. But look at the back. Do you see the back from here to here? The back from here to here is 13 inches. It needs to be, I am 15 inches back there. So I need at least across, where's the back? Across the back of this pattern, and I should have measured it, between the seam allowances, I need 7.5 inches at least. And then you need a little ease in the back. So probably 7 3/4. And so up here at the shoulder, I've got, between the seam allowances, 6.5 inches. I went upstairs in my 3-way mirror and tried it on, and the back armhole's way, way in here. Not where this armhole is, way past it. I thought, what the heck? Why would the front that I made for the full bust be just fine, but the back be this teeny tiny little thing? Do you see down here, the ducktail? I gotta take that much in on the back because it's way puffy right here. Sticks out, so I have to take it in like this. But when I do that, which I won't, but when I do that, I end up with a V back there. Let me see if I can make that show. It's a V. There. Can you see how the center goes up and the sides go down? You can't see it like I can see it, but just take my word for it. It's a disaster. I highly do not recommend Love Notions patterns. Unless you can make a muslin, or at least make it out of a different kind of paper so you can try it on. But oh, what a disappointment. I'm not going to take it in anymore. I'm not going to put the sleeves in it. They would just pull. They'd be way too small. I don't know if they changed the front to the point that they should have changed the back also. But they didn't change the back. The back is the same as if you did not need the full bust or the bigger front. They just left the back the same. So I don't know. It's a mess. I spent hours on it. The collar's perfect. It looks just perfect when I put the front on. It's real cute. It's top stitched all around, the whole thing. I was going to put a button and a buttonhole in it and get one big button. I always have to narrow the shoulders. The back on every pattern in the world is too wide for my back. It just never dawned on me that I might have to add to the back of a pattern. So, and here's what I had on earlier. Gotta put it back on. I love this. Isn't that cute? And this is my fit nice. I mean, you want to make a jacket, make it fit nice. So much easier. So much faster. I don't wear jackets anyway, so I don't know what I was thinking. I think when I hurt my back, I must have bent my brain or something. This is vinyl from my Scan and Cut. And when you do something like this, with all those words, there's a whole bunch of what's called weeding. Because you have to take out all of this, just a solid square, you know. So you have to take out all of the little itty bitty. The part between the E's, the part in the G, the part in the H's and the D's and the O's and the A's and the everything and the butterfly. It took forever to weed this, but I really like it. I'm going to let you go. I think I'll just end this video right here because I'm tired. You can see I'm kind of walking on one leg. Jerry keeps saying, will you please stop? Will you please stop? I said, I'm just sewing. You know, that's not like it's high stress or high energy. So, I think I'm going to quit for the day. It's probably 5 o'clock. No, it's 4 o'clock. And I'll just go sit with Jerry. Jerry still doesn't feel good. He ate something bad yesterday. Something different than I ate because I didn't get it. But boy, he had a really bad night, bless his heart. And so now he's okay. He's over that part when you eat something bad, you know what that's like. But now he's weak. So we're feeding him Ensure Plus and he's resting. Probably watching a basketball game. So I'll make something else. I want to make clothes. It's, you know, every time the season changes. When it turns to fall, you want to make fall clothes. When it turns to winter, I need to make winter clothes. When it turns to spring, I want to make Easter clothes. When it turns to summer, oh yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to find something easy to make, and it's going to be a pattern I understand and know what to do with because I'm just not happy, as you know, with that one. So I've got 3 projects going right now. Scarecrow, Snowflake quilt, and whatever I decide to make next. So maybe I'll make some more videos real soon. I'm going to see the urologist tomorrow, and then Friday I start PT. So we'll see if I survive that. And I'll be back when I'm back, as usual.